which means literally what it says. It's unnamed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it to you guys to decide what to name my podcast because the last name that we had was Fly Like an Eagle podcast, and that lasted a duration of what, like a year and a half. It was good. I liked Zach Zomp. It was a great chemistry. It was a great build, but at the same time, it was something that I couldn't sustain myself because I like being a one man band unless I'm gonna be with someone of note, someone I can get along with, someone I have good chemistry with consistently, and it's not just sports. It has a lot to do with the world, economics, business, just everything. And I'm still. It's gonna take me a while. It's gonna take me a long time to find someone that I can have a co-host that knows everything about life, uh, politics, sports, just everything in general. But yeah, I've been trying to brainstorm names, and I couldn't come up with one. So for right now, it's gonna be unnamed. This is episode 1. Welcome aboard, and yeah, let's get it going. So let's talk about this list for a little bit. This Epstein Island list. It's supposed to get released, I'm sure of it, January 22nd. It was supposed to be released a little bit after the new year, but they had to hold it back. And they only released the names of Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and someone else I'm forgetting. It was 3 names that we already knew about. The 3 names that we already knew about, they were said about 3 years on Good Morning America, if you found in the archived footage. And she had an interview with this one guest that told her all about this information, and they never aired it. We knew about that about 3 years ago, and it's troublesome that people bet on. All right, so I'm gonna read the comments after this opening monologue. But yeah, thank you for joining. So yeah, it's very crucial that we get to the bottom of this list. I don't think it's ever going to get fully released. Like, I really don't. I think they're going to hold it back. They're going to keep it classified. Because there's names on this list that they don't want released. They just don't. And there's reasons to that. I truly believe that if they release this list, and the names that are on it, what I think are on it actually, it would change the world. Because a majority of these people that are on the list would be detrimental to the pop culture society and life that we know it. I truly believe that the world will not be the same if these names were put out there. And the courts know that, the judge knows that, so that's why they're trying to find a way around it until it inevitably gets released by someone that's not in power. It'll get released and people will buy into it because no one trusts anything the government does. No one trusts anything the courts do. No one trusts anything that the people in power do. They'll trust a random bystander with something that's factual or not factual because that's the way of the world now. People don't trust their own government, and it's 2024, it's election year. I have a firm grasp of how it's going to go naturally. But at the same time, I still have that doubt just because politics are dirty. I feel like there's a lot of dirt in politics, and it's going to be tough to get rid of all those people that will literally threaten others' families, throw money at people, money you can't really refuse, especially if you don't have the life you want. There's obstacles to get out of the way if you want to get those people out, and it sucks because money is the root of all things evil. And I know it's cliche, I understand that, but it's true. It's very true. Everyone, literally the 5 people watching this right now. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Literally the 5 people watching this right now probably all have day jobs for the most part. You need money to survive. And it becomes a point to where survival isn't enough. You want money to do things that you couldn't do when you were younger because you want to try new things. Like if it were like gambling, Vegas, go cross country, go across the fucking world, Like, this is stuff that people would love to do, and everybody wants to do it at once. So when you have endless amount of money getting trucked, like literally Brinks backed up at your doorstep, you're not going to refuse it. Like, you're not. And then there's those people that threaten people's families, and they're never going to get caught because they're involved in the CIA that are working in our country right now. The CIA is working in our country right now, which is illegal. So there's a lot of things we have to do when it comes to fixing this country. Now, my buddy Zomp, shout out to him. My buddy Zomps, yesterday we're in a group chat, me, him, and Ant, we're in a group chat. And yesterday, he's saying we're doomed no matter what, no matter if Trump comes back or Biden gets reelected. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying, listen, you could be right, because his excuse was that no matter if Trump comes back, he's going to fix the country for 4 years, and then another idiot's going to come in to ruin it. It could be the case. I'm not going to lie. That's actually a good point. But at the same time, you can slow it down. You can. Inflation is absolutely horrible right now. You could blame it on the Ukrainian war. I think it's a made-up war, personally, but that's just my opinion. You could blame it on that. You could blame it on COVID and people not having jobs and them trying to get back money for all the checks they put out there. You could blame that. I'm blaming it based off of pure stupidity, them printing money, sending it to Ukraine, money laundering, and all this money's in circulation around the world. That's what I blame it on. But people don't want to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is we need a change. It doesn't matter if it's Trump, even Vivek, even I don't even like Vivek, to be honest with you. Even if it were him, DeSantis I'd put out there. Anyone but this current administration that's in office right now, I would take 110%. Anybody. Anybody. Because it is not fucking working. It's not working. I mentioned the other day, what was it, like a week and a half ago, that carton of eggs I used to get for $2.99 at the store. I walked into the store the other day, they were $6. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That cannot happen. We need a change. We need a fucking change. We need this list to come out. And that's all there is to it. Now, on a lighter subject, I'm going to read one of these comments. Let me see real quick. I got to go back. Sorry, guys. I think it was up here. Okay, here we go. There's literal websites where people bet on what people are going to be on. Yeah, I mean, that's a big one. So, one second. Let me take some water. Yeah, it's much like a Deadpool, where people bet on who's going to die next. I have friends that actually bet on that. It's sick and funny at the same time. I actually think it's more funny because I like dark humor, but, it's basically the same thing. People are betting who's going to be on this Epstein list. Now, it's not going to be easy to find out who's on the list unless you have someone that could read fast, open documents fast, and things like that. It's going to be pages and pages and pages and pages and pages long. You're not going to have like a notarized list. Like it's not going to be that simple, And, you have a lot of fake stuff going out there about like Jimmy Kimmel, like Aaron Rodgers saying, he implied, I'm not gonna feed around the bush. Jimmy Kimmel implied that he was, Aaron Rodgers implied that Jimmy Kimmel was on the list. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I like him as an athlete. I'm okay with him as a person, but he shouldn't have said what he said the other day. Now, granted, if Jimmy Kimmel's on the list or not, you cannot accuse somebody of being a pedophile when they may or may not be. Like, you can't. That's like one of the worst things you could possibly be. Like, you know me. I was friends with one. I didn't know it. I was fucking friends with one. It's one of the worst things you could possibly be. And you have to watch what you say. Now, the Mr. Pfizer thing, the Dr. Pfizer or whatever he called Travis Kelce, that's fine. You know my stance on COVID. I thought it was BS, all right? Obviously, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. But at the same time, I am very well in the field of common sense. It was election years off Fugazi. I got sick on COVID. I did. Never got a shot, never got a booster. I'm still alive and kicking. A ton of my friends who got the shot are sick. You want to tell me how that's fucking possible? If you get this shot, you're not supposed to get sick. I didn't get any of them. At all. I didn't get any of them. So, do you want to tell me how that's possible? It's weird. It goes against everything science related. Like, it goes against science. That's not science. It goes against science. Just because it's a brand new pandemic, which was man-made, it was a factual man-made virus, you want to be the ones that change the world and make a vaccine and put it out there so quickly. Now, granted, I heard it was being made for 20 years. For whatever reason, I don't know. But you want to go with a vaccine and just ship it out there for people to be used on people for guinea pigs, just because you want to open up the country. And I am talking about Trump. There are rumors out there that if he didn't do that, we would still be shut down today. Now, they're just rumors. It's not factual. But if he didn't do that, we'd still be shut down today. Now, there's pros and cons with it. And I'm honest. I'm extremely honest when it comes to talking politics, even people I like. You know? It's 50-50. There's pros and cons of him rushing out that vaccine. There's pros and cons. And I'm going to talk about both sides for a second. The pro, opening up the country. This is America. You have to open up this country. It's a capitalistic society. You have to open up this country, get people back to work. Money makes this country go around. We're a melting pot. I understand that. Illegals are flying in through the fucking border. It's only going to get worse, but that's a different topic. You had to open up this country. That was just, we were shut down a year too long. You had to open up this country. So he had to do something. Whether the vaccine was ready or not, you had to do something. Now, here's the con. When you sent out a vaccine like that, not knowing what was going to happen, the ramifications or the side effects or what was going to happen down the road, it's going to be put onto you. It's going to, because you're the person that put it out there. And a lot of far left liberal Democrats want to look and say, hey, we're nice people. We have our little gift of receipt saying we're a fucking retard, that we got the vaccine. Here, get yours, retard, retard, retard. And I'm sorry, I don't care if that word offends anyone. By definition, it means slow. It means slow. So you have the liberals getting their retard certificates saying, oh, I'm a nice person, when they don't even know what the fuck's in it. People want to compare it to medicine like Advil you get over the counter. This is a brand new vaccine for a brand new pandemic that was 99.8% unlikely to kill you. There's a big difference. Number one, I fucking hate needles. I despise them. I despise them more than snakes. The only fucking way I'm sticking a needle in my arm is if I'm going to die. Or if I'm going to help somebody out in the process. Like, stop the spread. Like, actually stop the spread. Not this made-up bullshit that's saying, oh, if you take this, you're a nice person, you're helping out the community, even if it doesn't stop the spread. What kind of horseshit is that? What kind of bullshit is that? It's a fact. It's factual evidence. It doesn't fucking stop the spread. And these people are fucking morons because these people want you to believe that they're being nice people taking this vaccine and helping out the community. When Donald Trump, if he were still in office and he was the endorser on this saying, oh, you could take the vaccine if you want, they wouldn't have taken that shit. You want to know why? Because it's political. It's fucking political. If he were still in office, the same people that are telling you that to take the vaccine because it's better for humanity are the same people that are saying, I don't trust big orange guy that says bad words. I'm not taking the vaccine. And there wouldn't be a problem. You want to know why? Because it's bullshit. The vaccine is bullshit. We would have never had the mandates. We would have never had anything. And I'm probably 15% of the country would have taken it at that point. We would have wasted a ton of money as the government the government would have wasted a ton of our money because no one would have taken that shit. So you want to keep telling me that it was better that Trump wasn't in office? Honestly, Biden being in office showed how bad humanity is in this country. Not only in this country, the whole world. Maybe we did need Biden in office to expose all this bullshit among all these nice people that we have walking down the street amongst us. Someone like Gacy, the clown Gacy, or Jeffrey Dahmer would have taken the vaccine and saying, hey, I'm a nice person. Does it make them a nice person? No. Does holding the door at Wawa make you a nice person? No. It's all deflection. Because people want you to believe that they're a nice person, but they're really not. And I know I'm going on a bit of a rant here. I'm just fucking fed up with society. Like, I really am. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. Like, people aren't natural and nice anymore. Like, you know me. Guys, you know me. I'm a natural douchebag / nice person. I'm both. With everything, you get both. If I'm telling you you're a bitch, I'm going to tell you you're a bitch. If I think you're the greatest person ever, I'm going to think you're the greatest person ever. I'm not hiding anything. There's nothing for me to hide personally. You know? Because that's what a human being should do. A human being should literally have you stand right in front of them and say, hey, this is me. You're not going to get any bullshit. And you don't get that from everyone. You have all these rich white liberals talking about how they support Black Lives Matter. They wear their mask wherever they go, even when they sit down to fucking eat, still. Because in appearance, they look like they're good people. But these are the same type of people that live in their gated communities that if they see a minority come around, they're going to call the cops. It's the same type of people. So I'm just sick of all the fake niceness. I'm sick of all these fake antics put on by human beings. Why don't we just all help each other? Like, what is the problem with that? Like, what is the issue? Like, if someone's down, help them out. If someone needs money for something, like if they're going broke and they want to like kill themselves, and that's the main problem of it, why doesn't someone just help them out? Regardless, listen, you may not ever see that money again. It is the truth. You might not. But if you're in a better financial position than someone else, and you know that you can help someone out with that money, I would take that risk. I personally would take that risk. Because if it helps somebody out in the long run, I'm completely okay with it. 110%. Knowing that I'm in a good spot, I'm in a good position. If someone really, really needed my help, close or not, I would do it. I would. Only if it were life-shattering. Only if it were life-changing. I would do it. If they were crying in front of me, of course I would do it. Because that's the human being in me. That's me as a person. Now, my douchebag side is completely different. 110%. If you piss me off, I'm angry. I get mad. All right? My friends know that. When you make me mad, I get mad. But yeah, I want to see people be less fake in the society. I really do. I think I missed some comments. Let me go up a little bit. I don't know. Where the hell can I go up? Do I just tap on the screen? I think I missed some comments. I don't even know. I know I saw a Trump 2024 comment. I don't even know how to go up at this point. But if you guys are enjoying the stream, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, please. I'll be doing these a lot more often. At least an hour. Once a week, maybe twice a week. Whenever I have time. But there's a lot of things I have to clear in my head. Like, I really do. You know. Good news for me is I've dropped 9 pounds since the beginning of last month. So I'm on the way down, you know, and that's something that I've always wanted to do since the beginning of COVID. You know, I was on the way down there and it just went up Schitt's Creek without a paddle because no gyms were open and I was depressed and I was eating like an asshole. So, you know, it's something that happens in life. You just have to persevere. You have to get above it. And it's pretty much it. I want to bring up. There we go. I got him. All right. So Chase says, I believe those rumors. Yep, about the Epstein client list, of course. We have a COVID. No, we have a wave symbol. And then we have Trump 2024 from Brett Fave. So, yeah, I mean, you know me. I'm one of those people that I just want everything to go back to normal. I want us to have normalcy. I don't want us to have bickering. I don't want us to have a fake administration in the White House. You could say whatever you want. I'm still not believing that it was a fair election. I'm not. I'm a math guy. The math doesn't add up with that election. And I want everything to go back to normal. You have immigrants from Texas being shipped to train stations right around the corner from me to go up to New York City because Mayor Eric Adams said that New York City is a sanctuary state and that they would take them. And Greg Abbott doesn't want them in Texas, so he's going to ship them to the sanctuary state that is New York, put them in the city, and now the city's getting overflown. You have Eric Adams suing the Texas bus companies, for taking the immigrants and putting them in New York City. I think the number was $700 million or something like that. It's crazy. It's absurd what's happening to this country right now. Everyone's fighting, and there always has to be more than a two-party system. This whole Republican Democrat bullshit, it needs to end. Like, it really does. And I don't necessarily know when we're going to get there or if we're going to get there. All I know is it has to happen because candidates on both sides for the most time aren't the best. The only reason why I like Trump is because, and let me read this comment. I'm independent for a reason. Yeah, I'm technically libertarian, but even I'm more of an anarchist right now, honestly. Like, I'm completely against the government right now. But independent is where I would lean as well. Now, the reason why I like Trump is because he wasn't a politician. You needed someone new. Like, Obama was one of the worst presidents I've personally ever been alive for. I'm not saying George Bush was any better, but things had to change. They were lying to you. His whole slogan was change, and nothing changed. The only thing that changed was him putting propaganda, him making propaganda legal in 2012 on TV, where news stations could lie to you or tell you what they want to tell you, not tell you the facts. And that's not reporting, and he put that into law in 2012. The only change he made was dividing the country even further. As a commander-in-chief, he failed, and he had 8 years to do it. So I just don't understand where people get off and saying, I don't want mean words guy. I don't want orange guy in the office. I'm not saying he's the most likable person. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is he's better than what we've had in the last 25 years. Policy-wise, money-wise, everyone treating each other right-wise, unless you're on the internet and you're trolling. Like, the internet, you have to understand, that's another thing. The internet isn't real. People who are talking on the internet and talking badly about you aren't going to say that to your face. They're not. Because they have this built-up mentality that they're this big old tough guy that's on Twitter or Facebook that thinks they can say whatever they want to your face, say whatever they want behind their keyboard. But if you look at their profile, if you look at their Avi, they don't have a picture. Why is that? Because they can get away with it. They could act like their alter ego. That's not drunk, by the way, which is kind of weird. Their alter ego and put you down on the internet and then live their life normally like the fake nice person that they are or nice person that they are. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like I said, what you see is what you get from me. I'm on Twitter. If I bash you, it's for a reason. I don't have to hide it. I don't have to hide it. Because at the end of the day, I'm for what's right. I'm not for a popularity contest. I'm for what's right. And what's going on right now, not only in America, but in the country, is not right. It's not right. You know, I'm going to bring up the whole Aaron Rodgers thing again. I like Aaron, but what he said about Kimmel, and I don't like Kimmel, but what he said about Kimmel or implied about, like, it wasn't right. And that's me saying that, you know? Until you have factual evidence, you just can't say stuff like that. You know, how would you feel if someone that didn't like you labeled you a pedo because they didn't like you? You know, it's like it's like labeling someone a racist or labeling someone something that is obscene. You know, without factual evidence. Like it's wrong. It's wrong, and that's one of the rare occasions that I'm on Kimmel's side. One of the rare, because Jimmy Kimmel, he did bash Rogers a couple of times in his monologues during the show. He's talking numerous amounts of shit about Trump during the monologues on the show. But one thing he never did is call them pedophiles. Calling someone a pedophile and being a pedophile, it's 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 pretty huge. It's pretty huge because even when you call someone that, people are gonna look right at it's like a spotlight being shined right on your face. Like it really is. Like even the fake lists that were made up for humor on the internet, like you look at that list and you see names like David Spade, and like these aren't true, but David Spade and like Taylor Swift, which we know is not true. When you see a list that's made up on the internet of people that loathe these people, they're just doing it because they don't like them. It's not right. It's not right. Imagine waking up, you're a celebrity, you're living a great life, you're one of the best actors to live in Hollywood. You wake up one day and your name's on a fake list and people actually believe it. How are you going to feel? How are you going to feel? You're going to feel like shit. You're going to want to sue whoever put it out there. The problem is you can't figure out who put it out there because these people are hiding their faces. Elon Musk. I love Elon. Elon's such a great person. I love him. He's bringing America back. Elon Musk, if he ain't gonna watch this, but I hope someone clips this and puts it on the internet and it circulates. If Elon Musk could do one thing, and I know he's big into the whole AI thing, the generated AI thing. If there's one thing that I would propose that he would do for Twitter or X or any social media platform, I'm talking to Zuckerberg as well. I know they're supposed to fight at UFC sometime this year. That should be fun. But if there's one thing I propose for any of them to do for social media, it's to make sure you have a face picture when signing up for these sites. Make sure that you have facial recognition going into these sites. So you can't do any of these behind the picture, behind the keyboard bullshit trolling jobs anymore. Because it is America. It's about free speech. Free speech has actions. It has consequences, you know? And there's one thing about Twitter or X and Facebook that people don't understand. They're private companies. They're private companies. So you can do that. And that's one thing I propose. I would take away, I'm not going to take away rights, but I would do a major change when it comes to this stuff. I think that would limit everything that's going on, honestly. All this fake nonsense, because people will be held accountable for what they say on the internet from here on out. You know, whether it's putting someone on a fake pedophilia list, whether it's making fun of someone's dead mom or dead dog or dead cat, you know, they would be held accountable, you know? That's why I've always had a face on my Twitter. That's why anyone knows who I am on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Because I don't hide anything. I'm showing you what I truly believe. You know, I'm showing you that if I don't like you, I don't like you. I don't have to hide it. You know? That's just one thing I propose. I propose down the road they do some facial recognition bullshit, and We're done with this whole behind the keyboard shit on Twitter. I'm just sick and tired of it. If you're gonna put factual stuff out there, that's one thing. But if you're gonna make up lies, spread rumors that aren't true just because you don't like somebody, you got to be held accountable for that, and you could get sued for that. It's defamation. You can get sued for that. So that's one thing I would do, because the internet, you can hurt someone just as badly over the internet as you can in person. You can, maybe even worse, because the internet lives forever, and people don't understand that. What you put on the internet is in red ink, not pencil where you could erase. It's in red ink. It's there forever. If you get it taken down, someone's going to put it back up. All they have to do is just download it, put it back up, and it gets recirculated and recirculated and recirculated. Red ink, guys. Red ink. So if you tell someone to kill themselves on the internet and they do it, that's your fault. But hey, guys, listen. I really appreciate you guys coming on for this this shortish episode of the Unnamed Podcast. Like I said before, you guys come up with a name, I'll scope it out. Best one wins. And I really appreciate you guys and your time. You're taking out your day to watch me or listen to me or whatever you're doing. And there will be I'll be doing this once or twice a week, just going over current topics, sports. I didn't even talk about the birds that whole time in that 30 minutes. That's fucking wild. I'm a chatterbox, guys. I can talk for days. And I'll end on that. I think hear me on this one, and give the stream a thumbs up if you can. That would really help. All right, so this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do. You guys know I'm a hot take artist. You guys know I say what I believe, and I believe what I say. I think the Eagles could go on a Super Bowl run, and I'm gonna end it on a warm-hearted note, on a kind note. I believe the Eagles can go on a run and go to the Super Bowl. Now I'll explain why before I get off here. The Philadelphia Eagles have the talent. They have 9 to 10 All-Pros on their team. You don't just become good accidentally. They're not in chemistry right now. The coaching staff isn't that great right now. But A.J. Brown, saying what he said, I think will bring the locker room together in some way, in some ways or the other. I believe that A.J. Brown is the voice of reason, which is weird because he's been labeled a cancer this whole season. And he's a fucking phenomenal player. He didn't have one touchdown in December. One. He didn't have one. You think that's going to happen throughout the playoffs? I don't. All it takes is a spark. I would sit the starters against the Giants. I'm not going to risk anyone on that shitty-ass turf. I'm just not going to do it. Take it to Tampa, sunny-ass Florida. Tampa Bay sucks. Beat them. Hopefully, Green Bay provides a miracle. Green Bay is playing some really good ball right now. Hopefully, Green Bay provides a miracle, goes to Dallas this weekend, next weekend, beats them. And then we go to Detroit. We play them because they play the higher seed. We go to Detroit. We play them. And I think we can beat Detroit because we always match up well against Detroit. They're in a dome. It's good weather. It's good conditions. They're not better than the Cowboys or San Fran. I think we can beat Detroit personally. I think we're better. And then let's just say this, guys. Green Bay is on fire as they are. Jordan Love, no one's expecting it. San Fran has a bad day. Green Bay goes in to San Fran, beats them. We win. We're hosting the title game. It'll be Green Bay versus the Eagles. And man, would that be a good game. I think our path is as better as ever right now. I think we should sit everyone, not fuck around with it, and just let us be underdogs in the playoffs. It works for us. It fucking works for us. Why would we want to be the second seed, the third seed? Why would we want to be the second or third seed and risk going to Dallas where they never lose, and then going to San Fran where San Fran came into our house and kicked the shit out of us? I'd rather avoid it. Why don't we have the easier scenario? Let Dallas take the division. Who gives a shit as long as we win the Super Bowl? Go down to Tampa. Have one of those wins where it brings a team together. And then just make a run out of it. Next week, I'm going to start a let it ride bet. Whoever the Eagles play next week, I'm betting the Eagles. The Eagles win that game, I'm going to bet the Eagles the next week. The Eagles win that game, I'm going to bet the Eagles the next week. The Eagles win that game, I'm going to bet them in the Super Bowl for them to win. I'm going to let it ride, see how far it goes. I'll probably do a $300 bet to start. But you guys will be on that journey for me. And I think there was one more comment in here before I get out. What's up, Mile High? How you doing? Do I think the Knicks lost the trade? Are you talking about the OG trade? No, I actually think they got better. I know they gave up Obi and they gave up Emmanuel quickly, and they gave up RJ Barrett and a couple picks, I think. What that does for the Knicks, and I'll be at the game tomorrow night, should be a good one. What that does for the Knicks, especially because they have Jalen Brunson right now, it makes them more attractive going into free agency next year. So it was a smart move by the Knicks. I believe that. Jalen Brunson's a beast. OG is serviceable. I think he's pretty good. And it makes them more attractive for free agency in the summer, where they can pick up a player, and who doesn't want to play in the Mecca with those two players? So they're doing the right thing. They are. I don't think they're going to win anything this year, but they're definitely aiming towards the future for sure. But with that said, Joel Embiid is MVP again, and I'll be at the game tomorrow. Section 107, row 2, if you want to stop by. And yeah, guys, thank you for joining. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you're not. This is gonna be a fun ride, and yeah, give me a name. All right, peace, guys. I'm out.